Brexit, a self-imposed deadline on Thursday. It's October 15th, and Boris Johnson has said if he hasn't made enough progress, he's going to abandon the talks for a no deal. And we're still at a point where the French are insisting on fishing in UK waters. I mean, how much progress has been made?
Well, it's not clear very much progress has been made at all. I think most people think there is a compromise that can be struck, but it's also about Boris Johnson being able to go back to his party and say that he got concessions out of the EU, and it's about EU leaders also feeling that they haven't somehow rewarded Johnson for breaking international law as the internal market bill that comes before Parliament would do. So, at the moment, we've kind of got a game of chicken here, and we heard Michel Barnier, the chief EU negotiator, saying, well, October 31st is the ultimate deadline. So it's not clear what the hard deadline is, but I think it could easily go into November. And, I think what we'll see this week is EU leaders themselves finally becoming more engaged. I mean, they've been so distracted by the virus that this has not really, it's not really been drawn them in at the head of state level. And I think that's what's going to start happening this week.
Yeah, really interesting to see that fishing still remains, Therese, such an iconic industry, full of imagery and history, and has a controversial relationship between the UK fishing industry and the EU ever since the start. And yet it is so small in terms of the economic contribution, less than 0.1% of the economy, I think, and it seems to be holding such sway over these negotiations at a time when we know that the EU economy is facing a tough winter because of the virus, and so is the UK economy. It does feel like tension over Brexit is the last thing that these governments need when they want to get economies robust enough to deal with the winter ahead.
Yeah, precisely. And I think one of the calculations from the UK side is that the EU wants a deal as badly as Britain would like a deal, maybe even more so, that they can't afford to walk away from this. They're also very aware that the EU doesn't want to be blamed for having the talks break down, so it remains at the table. And I think both sides have calculated that the other would really like a deal, and in a way that has increased the risk that you accidentally fall into a no-deal situation. And there's this other calculation that sort of works against the deal, and that even with the deal, it's going to be such a minimal agreement that there will be disruption, there will be costs, there will be trade frictions. And so some have argued quite plausibly that if there's no deal, at least Boris Johnson could then say, this is the result of the EU being intransigent, where if he has a deal, he then has to, once these trade frictions come, accept that this is the result of Brexit itself. So I think that kind of complicates the whole situation. But as you say, fish is totemic for Brexiters. It's a small share of the economy. The trade deals often break up over very small but highly political issues, so it wouldn't be the first time.